Hello everyone, hello to all top pilots. This is Captain JC Rage, and today we will be talking about things that you should consider before enrolling yourself for flight training and things you should consider also when you are on flight training. So if you are interested in this topic, please stay tuned and get the best information before you spend that big amount of money. But before that, please subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell and like this video. Let's go! Hello again to all top pilots out there, and I hope you and your family are doing safe. And first of all, I would like to thank you all for supporting my channel. As of the time of filming of this video, we are close to 4,000 subscribers already. So thank you very much for supporting me. And today, we will discuss some tips that you should consider if you finally decide to become a pilot and finally decide that you would like to enroll yourself in a flight school. To make this video organized and straight to the point, here are the primary things that you should consider before enrolling yourself. First is your health. Second is making a self-assessment. Third is your money or your finances. Fourth is choosing the right flight school. And last, I will give you some tips if you are already doing your flight training. So let's talk about health first, because I think that is the most important. Because if you don't know your current health situation, and then it will be a hindrance for you to get a pilot license someday, then there's no point of enrolling yourself in a flight school. Anyway, all flight schools also have the information regarding the requirements for medical, because they will be the one to facilitate your licenses, also going to CAAP helping you out on how you can acquire your license. So the most important thing that you should consider regarding your health is your heart condition, your lungs, and your eyes. So those are the major medical exams that the CAAP medical will conduct on you. So make sure that you are in good health before spending a lot of money. So next important thing is to make a self-assessment. So is this really what you want? Do you see yourself becoming a pilot in the future and making this your lifelong career? And do you see yourself fighting against all odds if there will be some hindrance to you becoming a pilot someday? So, because you have to commit. You have to commit once you are there, once you enroll yourself, once you give them your money, you have to commit, because flight training is not cheap. It is very expensive. So let's talk about your finances or your money, because I think this is one of the most important thing that you are considering also, and you have to consider. You need to be sure that you will not waste a lot of money, because flight training is really expensive. It's not cheap. And aside from the tuition that you need to pay the school, you also have to consider your board and lodging, because that thing adds up. If you're going to stay a long time away from home, and you're going to pay rent, you're going to pay for your own food, those things add up. Next is your license fee, because there will be some fees to process all your licenses, like your SPL or student pilot license, and also your medical. You need to pay for those. Also, you have to consider your transportation. If you are living so far away from the chosen school, then you will have to pay for transportation. And if you're going to, transport back and forth for so many times, those things add up too. And then you have to prepare an extra or miscellaneous for the things that you cannot foresee. That is very important, because there are a lot of things that I cannot discuss here, because there are unforeseen events or unforeseen things that you need to pay also. So those are the considerations when it comes to money. Remember, this is not a cheap training. It's going to cost you a lot. So you have to plan very carefully regarding your finances. The fourth topic that we need to discuss is how to choose the flight school. because there are so many flight schools. Here in the Philippines, there are also so many flight schools. And I'm not saying that the new ones are not good, but you have to check their history, you have to check their reputation. You have to make sure that you are not deciding just because of the cost of training or just because one school costs less than the other. Remember, there is a reason also why some schools charge more than the others. Maybe they are already well known in the industry, maybe they have the reputation and also the kind of planes that they have, the kind of curriculum that they offer, the kind of program that they have for their pilots. Some schools offer assistance of finding job after your flight training with them. Some even hire their students, their former students, to be flight instructors on their school. That's a very good way of for you to have experience flying and for you to have your first job and gain flying hours while being paid. You need to make sure that the school has a good maintenance practice and maintenance record because you don't want to fly a poorly maintained aircraft because it is your life that is at stake. Okay, this is a bit controversial topic, but make sure that your school or your chosen school use the right kind of fuel for their aircraft. Some aircraft have STCs or supplemental type certificate that they allow MOGAS or what we call motor gas. We call it MOGAS to be used on the aircraft. But you need to make sure there is a type certificate. But in the Philippines, all schools must use avgas or aviation gas. So make sure that your school uses aviation gas and not MOGAS. I'm not saying that schools use that, but just to be sure. You also have to consider the location of the school from your home. Because if you're going to pay a lot of rent, if you're going to pay a lot of transportation, you can use that money instead for your flight training instead of paying for rent and transportation. So that way you can save money. Okay, this is important. Know the culture of your school. Every school have different cultures. They have different practices. They have different culture. So know it by heart. Do not go against it if you think that it is not detrimental to your health, not detrimental to your training. So just go with it. Some have pakain after your solo, which is very normal. So make sure that you know the culture of your school because that will promote camaraderie with your peers, with your instructors also. You also have to make sure that the school has enough they have enough flight instructors and their instructors are always available during your flight training or flight schedule because some schools they have part-time instructors. So just make sure that during your flight schedule there is somebody there to teach you. Consider also the time of the year during your flight training. Like here in the Philippines, we have typhoon season and it's not very ideal for you to have your training during the typhoon season because if there's typhoon, then you cannot fly. If the wind is too strong, then you will have difficulty performing maneuvers because you still are a new trainee or a new pilot. Fly what you paid the flight schools. No shortcuts. Remember, on this field, experience is king. If you're going to go out and look for a job, the first thing that they will ask you is your logbook because your logbook, it reflects your experience. In this field, experience is king. So fly what you paid. Here's another controversial one. Do not pay for padding. Okay, you are fooling yourselves. I'm not saying that this is a common practice. This is not a common practice aside from it being illegal. But don't do it. You are fooling yourselves. Your flight time reflects your experience. And if you're just going to put some flight log there without actually flying the aircraft, then you're fooling yourselves. Always be a half-empty cup. That's important because there is no monopoly of knowledge. Even I myself, I'm still learning until now. So you will learn a lot of things in this industry and this is a continuous learning process. It never stops. So always be a half-empty cup. always ready to be filled in with new information and with new knowledges. Utilize your time wisely, because the longer you stay in flight school, then the more money that you're going to spend. Now, if your budget allows you, and this is also very important, I suggest that you fly at least 3 to 5 times consecutive days, because that will ensure the continuity of your learning, that will ensure the continuity of your skill application, your muscle memory, the application of procedures. It will ensure that it's going to be polished. If you're going to fly, say for example, on this day, and then your next flight is going to be next week, that's going to be very difficult for you. So if your budget allows it, fly consecutive days. Do not fly with just one instructor. Fly with as many instructors as you can, because that way you will be able to get their insights, get their techniques, get their knowledge, and then apply it to your flying. Remember, experience is king, and by flying with as many instructors as you can, you will be able to learn from their experiences and also learn from their mistakes. When it comes to mistakes, there is a saying, wise people learn from their mistakes, but wiser people learn from the mistakes of others. So fly with as many instructors as you can. Before you go on a flight, you must ask your instructor what is your goal for today's lesson. That way, when you get off the flight, you are sure that you have learned or achieved the goal for the day. Do not leave the aircraft without gaining any knowledge. Always have a good plan on how you can achieve your goal. Remember, if you fail to plan, you're planning to fail. Always have a mindset that it is you who should adjust and meet the standard of your instructor. Even though your instructor knows your level of skills, you should make it a mindset that you will achieve what the instructor is expecting from you, or even higher than what is expected of you. When I was in training, there is a saying that I really like: if you want to land on the moon, you reach for the stars. Because if you fall short of your ambition, or if you fall short of your goal, at least you landed on the moon. If you don't reach the star, at least you landed on the moon. So always have a mindset like that. Do not outshine your instructor. What I mean by this is, do not make him feel that you are more knowledgeable than him, because that will never be the case. He is an instructor for a reason. And don't tell him that you did a good job. Let him be the one to tell you that you did a good job. Let me be the one to break it up, so you won't have to make excuses. We don't need to find a setup where someone wins and someone loses. We just... Tama na. So that's it, guys. I hope you learned from this video, and I hope you will be able to apply it once you decide to go on flight training. But before we end this video, shout out muna tayo. Sammy Trinidad. It's his birthday on May 13, so happy birthday. Shout out also to Neil Benedicto. Hello. And to Flordelisa Saison. Filomeno Bernadas Jr. Hello to you. And to Oigimer1. So, to all of you who I wasn't able to mention your names, I'm sorry, but I will try to mention it on my next videos. Thank you very much for subscribing to my channel. Thank you very much for supporting me. And see you on my next video. Thank you.